Students, this is Theme 1, Lecture 3, your course book, The Brahman and the Mongoose. Now we remember the story of the Brahman and the mongoose, and we had to do a few exercises for homework. Exercise A, page number 15. Replace the sentences that have been underlined in the passage with interrogative sentences that are appropriate in the context. Now this was the passage that you had, and the underlined sentences you had to change into interrogative sentences. Now the first one was, she could not see what it was. Now see, in the answer itself you have the question words, and what is that? What it was. But this is not the right sequence. What we need to do is, we need to put the question word before or first. So what will it become? What was it? Not what it was. In some of you have given me the answers like this, and that is why I have not checked your work. Please check the sequence of the words. So what will it be? Your question words have to come before, and the rest of it will go last. So what is it? What was it? So this is your first answer. The second one, she wondered what it could be. What it could be. So what is the sequence of this? What could it be? Now please remember, we have done modal verbs, and in modal verbs we have can, could, shall, should. Yes, all these, besides being the modal verbs, are also question words, because you can begin your question with these words. Yes, what it could be. So what will our answer be? What could it be? Could it be like that? For some situations you can make questions like this, where your question begins with could. Alright? So what could it be? Maybe her eyes had deceived her. So you see here the word had in the past tense. Now what we need to remember is that when we are changing these questions, we cannot change the tense of the sentence. So if the sentence is in the past tense, we need to write our question in the past tense as well. So maybe her eyes had deceived her, had, in the past. So what will we do? We will write the question in the past. Had her eyes deceived her? Number 4. Or maybe it was hiding somewhere. Was, past tense. So what will it be? Or was it hiding somewhere? So this is how we need to take care of the tenses when we are writing, or we are changing the sentences with interrogative sentences. Now number 5. She asked herself whether she should pick it up. Yes, can, could, question words as well. So we can begin with this. And what is it? Should she pick it up? Number 6. This might not be the only mouse in her house. This might not be the only mouse in her house. Yes, could this be the only mouse in her house? Number 7. There might be a whole family of them. Could there be a whole family of them? So these were your answers. Please check your work. Exercise B, page number 15. Change the following declarative sentences into interrogative sentences. What is interrogative? Questions. Now let us see these properly. Michael's aunt worked in a department store in town. Now like I told you before, or as I told you before, we have to find out the tense in the sentence. And what is the tense? Past tense. And hence our question will also be in the past. Now there are two things, there are two parts in this question, so we can make two questions. For example, we have Michael's aunt, that means a person. And in the second part of the statement, we have a department store, which means a place. So we can have two questions with who, and we can also have the second question about the place, that is the department store. So what will our questions be? Who worked in the departmental store? Alright, Michael's aunt. That is the answer. Now if we talk about the departmental store, where did Michael's aunt work? Where did she work? Now we are talking about the place. Now please see that did, it is in the past tense, and with did we use the present form of the verb. Please remember, can do, did work, to eat. With all these we use the present form of the verb even though the sentence is in the past. So where did Michael's aunt work? Why is this in the present tense? Because of did. So please remember that, and you can make more questions for your sentences as you feel like, or how many ever situations are there. Number 2. Mary does not care who disapproves of her. Does. So our question begins with does. Does Mary care about who disapproves her? Number 3. The price of petrol went up again last week. Again we have two parts to the sentence. We have the price and we have the time, that is last week. So we can make two questions in this statement. For the price if we write, and because it is in the past, we have used did. Now did the price of petrol go up? Like I told you, with did we use the present form of the verb. Alright? When it is in the past, so we know in the past when we use did, we use the present form of the verb. Did the price of petrol go up again last week? So we are talking about the price. Now what will our question be about last week? What happened last week? We are talking about something that happened last week, and what was that? The price of petrol increased or was increased. Number 4. There is something wrong with Lucy's car. Now please remember, the previous sentences were in the past, but this sentence is in the present and therefore is. So what will our question be? Is there something wrong with Lucy's car? There is optional. If you do not write there, then also your sentence will be correct. Is something wrong with Lucy's car? Or is there something wrong with Lucy's car? Number 5. His brother plays for the local soccer club. Now see, again, like the previous sentences, we have two parts to this sentence. First is who. Yes, the brother. And then there is a reference to the club. So we can make two questions either about the club or about his brother. So what would the question be? Who plays? Now see, plays is in the present. So therefore our question is also in the present. Who plays? Who plays for the local soccer club? Yes? And the next question is, who does his brother play for? For whom? The local soccer club. So therefore, these are your questions. I hope you have understood. Please check your homework. Next. Now yesterday, the homework that I gave you was filling the table about the character of the Brahman's wife, and the mongoose. There were three of them. Let us see how we can describe the qualities or characteristics of the Brahman, which we call drawing a character sketch. That means writing about that character. Now we have the Brahman, and we know that the Brahman is a clever man. And he was a clever man, and he also has his head in the clouds. That means all the time he keeps on thinking about something else instead of being where he is or thinking about that particular situation. Alright? Then another thing we have seen is that when his wife goes out, she gives the Brahman the responsibility of taking care of the children, the sons. And who are the sons? The children are, one is the son and the other one is the mongoose. So he takes on the responsibility of taking care of the son. Why? Because he nods. Yes, we do not know whether he heard it or not, but he did nod. That means he took the responsibility, but then he did not fulfill it. Why? Because he is careless, and after some time he just wanders off, he takes off, or he goes away, and instead of taking care of the children, he just walks away. Why? Because he is thinking of something. That means he is a thinking man. He thinks a lot about problems and situations. Alright? And once he comes to know that the mongoose is dead, then what does he do? He sits with his head down. So maybe he regrets his wandering away, that he shouldn't have gone away, he should have been with the children, and when he ought to have been with their sons. So maybe he is regretting now because of the problem that has occurred, because the mongoose, their son, has lost his life. Alright? Now, so this tells you about the quality or the characteristics of the Brahman. What type of a person the Brahman was. In the same way we have the mongoose. Now this mongoose, he acts according to natural instincts. It is written in your book that he acts on natural instincts. Now that means he can sense danger, and when he can sense danger, he acts instantly. In a trice, it says in your book. So he acts on the spur of the moment, very quickly, and when he sees danger, he has a fighting spirit. He doesn't run away from challenges, but he is ready to take on challenges. And so he attacks the snake. And that is why you can say that he has the fighting spirit. That is the character of the mongoose. But he has another problem now. And the problem is that even though he has this good quality, he has a bad quality in him, and that is beating his own trumpet. Now what is beating your own trumpet? Talking good things about yourself, praising yourself. So maybe the mongoose wants to get approval of the Brahman's wife, or maybe he wants to repay the kindness of the Brahman's wife, and therefore he runs quickly to tell her what good he had done. And this was a negative thing, running and telling people what good you have done. That's a bad quality. And what is it known? Blowing or beating your own trumpet. In the same way, the next thing we have is he runs, he wants the approval of his wife, and he's quick in action and very foolishly or impulsively. What does he do? He goes out to tell the Brahman's wife that I have saved your son. And because he has done it, what happens? He has to pay the price with his life. Therefore they say, whenever you want to do anything, think about it properly. Your actions should not be impulsive, but you should think about them. Why? Because they can have very dire consequences. Consequences, it means results. So these results can be terrible if you do not think before you act. And this is the mistake that the mongoose has made. So this is the quality or the character of the mongoose. Now let us see the character of the Brahman's wife. We all know that she was a good mother. She loved her son very much. She is a thinking woman. Why? Because as soon as she has a problem that she does not have more children, she begins trying to solve the problem. That means this is the quality of a person who wants to solve problems. Another thing we know about the Brahman's wife is that she is very caring. She takes care of the mongoose like a son. She is fair and just. Why? Because she treats both of them equally. She loves them equally, takes care of them equally. So she is just and fair. Another thing, the fair here does not mean complexion of the skin, of fair complexion. It talks about the quality of being a just person. Yes, good-hearted. She is good-hearted, and that is why she adopts the mongoose as her son. But her biggest problem is that she gets ideas suddenly and unexpectedly. That means out of the blue. Suddenly, unexpectedly. And her biggest problem is that she begins acting on them instantly. She doesn't wait. She's very hardworking. She takes the responsibility of taking care of her children, and in the heat of the day she goes to fill water. So that shows that she is a hardworking woman. Yes, W-O-M-A-N. How is it pronounced? Woman. Yes. Next, impulsive behavior. We have all seen that very impulsively, suddenly, quickly, she adopts the mongoose as the son. Yes. She has an idea here, and the very second she has already adopted the mongoose. Then the second place where we see her impulsive behavior is she beat the mongoose to death. She saw the blood on the mongoose's mouth, and she feels or she thinks that maybe the mongoose has killed her son. And she quickly picks up a stick and she beats the mongoose to death. So her decision is very, very impulsive, foolish, immature. A mature person would think about the decision, would think before doing something. So both this quality is with both of them, the mongoose as well as the Brahman's wife. Now another thing is, now this is a very, very bad thing or a bad quality a person can have. When anything goes wrong, putting the blame on the other person. She doesn't take the responsibility of her wrong decision and action of taking the stick and beating the mongoose. That was her decision. Nobody had told her to do. It was her reading of the situation, and that is why she beats the mongoose to death. But she doesn't take the responsibility, and she plays the blame game. That means blaming the other person for your mistake, and this is not a good thing, putting the blame on somebody else. So she blames the Brahman for their son's death, and she says, you didn't watch the children, so you are responsible for what has happened. Yes, so it is rightly said, don't let your emotions make your decisions. Whenever we are emotional, we are very angry, we should not take any decision at that time. Otherwise, the consequences will be bad and we'll have to face them. Now, we've done the 3 character sketches of these 3 characters in this story. Now, your homework is you have to check your exercise A and B, whether you have written correctly or not, and then forward them to me. If you have any problem, you can always ask me. and your homework for today is write a paragraph for each of the following. You have to write the paragraph. Alright? So the paragraph is what? About the Brahmin. Write properly in a paragraph, not the way that I explained. How will you write? That the Brahmin's wife was a good mother. We come to know why, because of this she did. So you can see what she did, which shows that she was good. Alright? And how she loved her son very much. That too. Talk about each and everything, whatever you can think of. The Brahmin's wife, think of the mongoose and the Brahmin. So you have to write one paragraph each for these three. The Brahmin, the Brahmin's wife and the mongoose. Just like I have tried to put a quote here for you, don't let your emotions make your decisions. You may think of some appropriate ones for the mongoose or for the Brahmin's wife, yes, or for the Brahmin. I'm sure you've understood. Thank you.